How have things gone so far? Obviously, winning the GNAC, in the playoffs, and that great season that you guys had. But now you guys get ready for next season, and just how has spring ball gone so far?
It depends which side of the ball you're talking about. Offensively, we return a very veteran group. When you got a quarterback, a running back, and offensive line, Chase Crevichet, receiver. It's a veteran group, and the day one of practice, we were able to step on the field, and the execution was good. They were able to perform at a high level and all of that. Defensively, it's a different story. We've got Cameron Buell back as a 3-year starter for us. But other than that, there's really a lack of depth and a lack of true experience on that side of the ball. We do have Drew Dubois back, although he's been dealing with some injury at outside linebacker. But again, this is his first spring with us as a JC transfer over the summer. Same thing with the guys up front, Darian Hamberry, Ahmad Logan. Those two. Christian Castro has missed all of the first 2 weeks with an injury. But all those guys are just like Drew. They're guys that played last season, but this is their first spring. And so we've got some holes to fill, certainly. Some young players still to look at, and we hope develop on there. But it's been a good start. It really has. Players have come to work each and every day and done all that we've asked, and we're excited to get through Thursday scrimmage, which will be at 6:00 p.m., and then be able to take a break and kind of regroup for spring break, and then come back for the final 2 weeks.
What limitations are there for NCAA rules? I'm sure there's probably a lot of things that you'd like to do in these practices, but what are you limited to during these practices?
Well, we're allowed a total of 15, and then they limit the first 2 have to be helmets only, and they limit the amount of tackling. We don't do tackling in practice. That's just not our MO. We'll do some 11-on-11 stuff, but it's always stay on your feet upright. We're not going to tackle Jaquan Gardner. We're not going to do those type of things. So again, that's not a problem for us. We want to create competitive situations, okay, that will allow players to show, where they're at in their development and compete for a job at their particular position. And so we try to do that throughout practice. It's also, I love spring in the sense that with no game plan to worry about, well, it's a great time to teach. It's a great time to really work on basics and fundamentals and to see players get better, and one of those players on the defensive side is Emilio Rodriguez. Emilio is ready to step in and assume a role that a Dustin or Dylan Huffman had, and Anthony Ezram had possibly. We're very, very pleased with what he has done thus far in spring, and again, this is his entering his 3rd year in our program, and that is the point that you really hope that some of these kids that entered here initially as freshmen really start to make an impact for you. I've always said if they make an impact prior to that, we're really ahead of the game. But it's that 3rd season, which is in Emilio's case now his redshirt sophomore season this fall will be, that it's time to make that impact, and he is doing everything to show us that he's prepared to do just that, make an impact. So really pleased with what we're seeing from him. Really pleased with our 2 mid-year transfers. Sam Madden, an offensive lineman, is going to play somewhere for us, we feel. He, again, has really fit in well with that offensive line group. And that's a group that graduated Jonathan Badgett and Jonathan Rowe. So we do have, spots to fill, and Gus Johnson, also a returning player, has been working really hard, competing at the right guard position. Then Anthony Boykin is a JC transfer defensive lineman that we think could be a real special player also. And we're pleased with him. We need to get him in better shape than he's in right now. We'll work on that, but all in all, it's gone well.
I know recently with National Signing Day and the recruits announcing that but does the recruiting just never stop? I mean, you guys still actively out there, still searching for players for this squad?
It truly never stops. It really doesn't. And then we do have holes to fill, and now it's trying to, take our budget and fill those holes, and again, with us, it's figure out a way. That's always been kind of the approach we take, is just that we got to figure out a way to make it work. And and we'll figure out a way again this year, I believe, to make it work. But there's still legitimate needs that we have that, we feel really good about the freshman class we brought in. And we really needed to kind of reestablish some depth that you do so only by bringing in freshmen and developing them. And so we feel real good about that freshman class that we recruited back through February. But now it's specific needs. It's okay, we need a defensive end. All right? We need a corner. And we've got to go out and find those, the best available. And what we're trying to do is what every other school's trying to do. They also have needs, and they're doing the same thing. So that's the challenge in front of us now, between now and the start of the season.